My sense of calling came in undergraduate experience. I joined a Baptist church. I grew up in a different denomination, and over the first 2 or 3 years, I really got involved in church. I'd never really been that involved. Went on mission trips, went to Bible study, led Bible study, and it was through those experiences that I started feeling a pulling, a tugging to vocational ministry.
I was really struggling with making sure that I was doing what I needed to do to get myself set up to enter the film industry and to make those connections and to do those extracurricular things that were going to help me get a job when I graduated. And it was in that I started asking myself, is this really what is going to fulfill me? Is this really what makes me truly happy? And it was those times where I had volunteered as a children's Sunday school teacher and worked at Vacation Bible School that I felt really happy and fulfilled.
Came to Gardner-Webb as a football player. I played here for a year, ended up getting injured, and had to make a big decision whether or not to stay here. And really, I believe that was the beginning of God transforming me and leading me towards my calling. Because I stayed here, I got involved with Young Life, which was a ministry that I was a part of. I didn't grow up in a Christian home. I knew who Jesus was, I knew who God was, but for me, it was just something as an afterthought. I'd always thought ministry was something that people who were perfect had to do. Over time, through the courses that I took in undergrad and the people I worked with and through campus ministries here at Gardner-Webb, God really started to do a number in my life to lead me into where I am now, sitting in Divinity school.
The thing that I enjoy about teaching is the way students stimulate my thinking. It is not a guru sitting on a stool imparting wisdom to disciples who are sitting around the guru in a circle. It is truly a collegial give and take. I tell my students, if you leave my class with 5 times the number of questions that you had before you came in, I've done my job.
You must identify out of your own calling, your own sense of engagement of the text, who you believe God has called you to be in relationship.
My name is Danny West. I am a professor of preaching and pastoral studies in the School of Divinity. Most of our students are congregationally based in some capacity, and it's one of the things that we frankly encourage our students to do while they're here, to not view their days in Divinity School as a waiting room where you twiddle your thumbs and wait until you get the degree, and then someday, well in the future, you begin to serve God in the church. We really encourage our students to get into the laboratory of the church early on, to learn what it is to work with people, to work within a congregational setting. Whether they are called ultimately to that setting or not is immaterial. It's good to begin to test your kingdom skills.
Every single student who comes to the Divinity School is here because they have a relationship with Christ. When a student enters this Divinity School, we promise them and we make a covenant to them that their relationship with Jesus will grow while they're with us.
Being a student at Gardner-Webb Divinity School was more than just being in a classroom. It was more than just learning the things that we were supposed to know to pass the test. Those are important things, but it was growing as not only a minister, but as an individual in my spiritual formation.
When working with young people, with teenagers or college students, I am so driven by their passion for Christ and for their fervor to grow in their faith and to see the gospel come alive to them. It blows my mind every time I see them have this aha moment, or when something clicks for them and they just like, wow, this is why I follow Christ. This is what this is all about.
I love watching the children begin to understand who God is and how much God cares for them and how much God cares for the world around them. There will be times when you're teaching a lesson or giving a children's sermon or just talking with one of them, and you'll see a little light bulb go off, and those are just the best moments where you can tell that they've understood something about who God is.
The great joy for me is engaging our students every day, every week, watching them grow. It's such a joy to see them come in at this level. They're excited, they're passionate, They're a little starry-eyed early on, and then they go through the rigors of our program, and candidly, they face the realities of church and how messy we can be together sometimes. And they come out on the other side a much more mature and focused and seasoned student and minister of the gospel.
My advice to someone beginning to explore their own call would be to let yourself explore it, to not be afraid that you don't know all of these theological terms and you don't know everything there is to know about the Bible and you don't read Hebrew or Greek, to not be afraid of not knowing.
Part of theological education is the discernment process itself. And you may not know the day you walk through the door as a prospective student, you may not know the day you apply or the day you sit for your first class precisely what God wants you to do, but you know that's where you need to be is right there.